Dave Walton, our good friend from Direct Energy, is here. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good to see you, man. I know you're traveling all over the country, talking to people about saving money, being efficient when it comes to heating your home, especially.
That's right.
Right? One of the things I wanted to ask you right off the bat, obviously, is it's the time of year when, I think we didn't turn on our furnace, our heat, for quite a while, up until the last week or so, right?
Yeah.
Once you get it turned on, should you leave it at a certain level? Do you know what I mean? Like, does it cool down and harder to heat up and you're using more energy to heat it back up?
Well, okay, so great question. There's no hard facts one way or the other, but the most common sense thing is to just turn it down a little bit.
Yeah,
when you're not
but not
home.
all the way down.
But not all the way, no.
Because it seems to me it's like your car engine, right? It takes longer to warm it up than if it's already warm,
and
obviously.
if you inadvertently drop it too low, you potentially put your other components of your home at risk, right? Pipes bursting, if the house got too cold, if it were to happen to shut off.
Yeah, I got to remember to turn off my valve for my outside
Yep, I did mine just
water.
last week.
Did you? Yeah. I got to do that.
Yeah.
I've learned from Dave, though, that changing the filter in your furnace is key to success.
That's right.
And I learned the hard way because my furnace did. Remember, at one point it broke down and shut down.
That's right.
Because I didn't change this thing. I like to change it like 4 times a year. Is that cool?
That's perfect. Every 90 days or so, either clean it or replace it. These are replaceable filters.
Yeah, I like the replaceable ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and get a decent one, right?
Actually, great point. I purposely brought, so I've got two examples here. This is a dirty filter, and that's a clean filter. You can see the difference.
Right.
And then second is this one here. This is about a $7 filter, and this is about a $20 filter.
Yeah.
So it does vary. So the $7 filter, its fundamental purpose is it's protecting your furnace from any airborne particles and dirt and dust and grime. And that's to keep the inside of the furnace as clean as possible. When you use this filter here, you're actually starting down the path of improving the indoor air quality of the home as well. So you're picking up smaller particulate and you're keeping the air a little bit cleaner. And then you can also improve from this filter as well. You can get into what we call a media filter, and it's about 4 or 5 inches wide.
Some of them are $30, right?
Yes.
Ish for the really good ones?
Yeah, I just replaced mine and paid $50 for it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So you bought the super good one.
Well, mine's a media filter. It's about 4 inches wide, and it's got, it looks similar to this, only a lot deeper fins on it. Yeah.
I thought, that's so you wouldn't have to listen to me.
No.
That's a different media
Good
filter.
point. Never thought of it that way
altogether. Yeah. Worth spending the money, though. We're talking about air quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you want to keep the air out of your home, the cold air, of course. I wonder why you brought along a basketball. I can't figure it out. Why?
Well,
you like the NBA? You're a Raptors fan?
Yeah, sure. I'm a Raptors fan.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
So, if you add up all the small leaks and cracks in a typical older Canadian home, you would end up with a hole in it about the size of a basketball. So,
no kidding.
Yeah, so think about just sitting at your kitchen table having breakfast, and there's a hole right there at the wall.
Yeah, that's
all
what
that air is gushing at warm air.
And that's expected, correct? But you can solve that problem.
Yes. So there's a certain level of tightness that you want in a home. And if you notice, I said older homes because newer homes are very tight, and they're actually so tight now that they are starting to introduce mechanical ventilation, or HRVs. So it's an air exchanging system because you don't want the home too tight either.
Is that right?
Yeah. So
it can be over tight.
It can be so in a typical home. Older home though is you do have gaps, and you can't prevent them all, but you can certainly try to seal some.
You can fix them.
Yep.
And this is one of those gap fillers right here.
Yeah, exactly. Just for whether it be along the edge of a window or the edge of a door. Yeah. You can just check the existing stripping on there, and sometimes what happens is it does go brittle, it does rip away, it gets torn and ruined. So be able to replace it once every couple of years, you're doing great.
Basically same principle, the expanding foam?
Yeah, so you got to be a little bit more careful with this where you use it.
Oh, is that right?
I know I'm not really good at it, so when I open a can, I'm planning to use it in lots of places. And I brought a couple examples, and one is just check your outdoor oops, got it upside down. Your outdoor dryer vent, and just make sure that it's sealed along the outside edge.
Or anything coming out of your home like that. Like I have a big electrical cord coming out of there for the hot tub.
Yep, so caulking is probably better for something like this, but if there's a big gap, you could fill, like if the brick around behind here is a big gap, you could fill it with a little bit of foam.
Do you check that inside your house or outside?
Realistically, it's probably outside, yeah. So, and another way as well is down in the basement, at the top of the foundation, where the joists are sit on top of the finish, it's like a rim joist. Those little cavities in there, it's one of the greatest air losses in the entire home. So to be able to...
Is that right?
Oh yeah, it's a really bad spot. About 30% of the air that you're losing or heating the outside.
Is there?
Yep. So usually what you'll see is just a piece of insulation and not much else.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
what
got
you can
that.
do is take that out, and I just brought a piece as an example only, is just fit that in between the joists above the foundation.
So you need
and
a
below the
bunch of
floor.
those.
Yeah, and then you can use caulking around there as well, and that'll help tremendously. Just
That's
cut
good
down.
thinking. All right, we're gonna take a break here, but you're gonna come back. We got more tips for
We
people
got more, yeah.
coming up. Dave Walton's here from Direct Energy. That's good. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Because I got that all over the basement, right?
Yeah. I just did, I redid my family room
Yeah.
last week or so. When I took it all apart, I made sure I put these